So when I set out to make this video, I was initially afraid to put my true thoughts and feelings to paper. I was just going to trash on the remake like everyone else to fit in and be cool on YouTube. But something changed my mind. And that something was the Capcom checks didn't hit my bank account. So therefore, I'm going to judge the game by its own merits. I know it's a novel concept, never been done before, but we do things a little bit differently on Hikikomori Media. That's for sure. I'm not here to dunk on everyone who thought the remake was going to be trash, because I can see the line of thinking. Bloober Team aren't known for making the most quality games in the world. They often are narrative-driven, and they lack gameplay, and they're kind of by-the-numbers imitations of games that you've already played before. Like, the medium itself was obviously a send-up to old survival horror like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. I think the latter is what they were trying to draw the most parallels with the whole split dimensions aspect and hiring Akira Yamaoka to do the soundtrack. I think they were testing the waters to pitch to Konami like, hey, we're capable of making something similar to Silent Hill. Please give us a chance. Now, I wasn't initially enthusiastic about the idea, but then I stopped and had a little think. Silent Hill 2 is already established, there's a framework, the story's in place, so they don't really have to worry so much about rewriting something that's already good. They already have a great connection to Akira Yamaoka, and they got him involved, so there's the music aspect of it. Environmental artists, Bloober has some of the best in the business, so I know they're going to at least get the town correct. But the two areas that I had concerns with were they aren't known for gameplay, so they would have to do something about that combat. But really, if I look back at the original Silent Hill 2, the combat wasn't anything sophisticated. It was as basic as they come, so it's kind of a low bar there. But the main thing that I was most concerned about was Bloober's insistence on writing verbose characters that have to comment on everything in front of them. I don't know if it's a Bloober specific thing or if it's more of like a Millennium writing kind of thing. These bolt cutter quips and Napoleon Dynamite references do not belong in a game that's set in late 90s Poland on the site of a horrific massacre.
Kind of sounds like a spelling cutters.
Silent Hill is a game where the horror comes from the unknown. It comes from those still moments while you're by yourself in isolation, wondering what's around the corner, or what that abstraction in front of you is. Having James commentate upon all of it, I feel, would compromise the atmosphere. Thankfully, they put the silent back into Silent Hill. I think they've struck a great balance with this new James, as it were. And I think a key aspect on why this game is so successful is being overlooked right now. Bloober asked for feedback every step of the way, starting from the medium. That was one thing I acknowledge. If you're going to inherit the Silent Hill
franchise, yeah, on a discount now, so they saw the actual Silent person. You should see the real estate.
Feedback. And I respected how Bloober outright invited the criticism by encouraging players to leave them feedback at the end. That's the kind of mindset you're going to want to have if you're going to remake a beloved franchise.
Yeah, you should say I could be in a mortgage.
The remake was announced, people were upset and criticizing everything for nitpicking things like the combat. Like, God forbid that a studio not known for gameplay attempts to improve the combat. Why would you be mad at that? Now, I've also got in discussions with people saying that Silent Hill is supposed to have bad gameplay. The protagonist is not supposed to be adept at fighting. But under a microscope, if you look at the original Silent Hill, Harry Mason is an author. He's just a dad who drives into town, and he saves his daughter by fighting all these demons, and he kills an actual god in the span of one night. Okay? Like, he has to be good at combat to do that. You can't be bad at combat to do that. So it's not a characterization thing. Now, me personally, I'm just tired of remake culture. Except that one. 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 I was excited because Silent Hill wasn't just getting a remake, but it was getting 5 different experimental projects all at once. Silent Hill Ascension, Silent Hill The Short Message, the remake, Townfall, and Silent Hill F. I felt personally that Silent Hill 2 remake was the best shot this franchise had at finding new life. Just like a rising tide lifts all boats. If Silent Hill 2 remake does well, then the potential for more new, ambitious Silent Hill games was out there. I thought I was a fan of the Silent Hill franchise, and that's what fans were supposed to do. Root for the best outcome. Like, I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Hope for the best. Turns out I was just supposed to shit on it and hope that Bloober gave up. Now, the way I look at it, there's a lot of new gatekeepers in the Silent Hill franchise that dictate what's acceptable, what's cool, what's not cool. They're the tastemakers of Silent Hill. And I feel bad for them because they painted themselves into this weird corner very early on where they all came on this united front to immediately hate the remake. I've been around on YouTube long enough to appreciate the irony of the situation. The same people who criticize Twin Perfect for being gatekeepers and overly pedantic and mean are now the new Twin Perfect. They're doing the exact same thing to Bloober Team and the remake enjoyers. So, it's nothing new to me. Psycho Tracking seems kind of weird. Silent Hill 2 is the story about a man named James Sunderland who's beckoned out to the fog-covered resort town after receiving a letter from his dead wife, Mary, who died of that damn disease 3 years ago. What disease exactly? I don't know. They don't ever tell you. Does it matter? No, but 20 years later, people are still getting into arguments about it. It's one of the most influential survival horror games of all time. Against all odds, the remake turned out pretty good. Would I recommend it? Yes. Do I regret spending $70 on it? No. I played through it 4 times, and I'm going to play through it probably another 4 times to pick up the additional endings that Bloober created for this. It's phenomenal. What can I say? It's one of the best games I've played all year. And one of the best survival horror games I've played in my lifetime. It's got a glowing recommendation for me, and once again, I recommend you play the original and you play the remake before diving into this video. But if not, we'll fit in with the rest of the Silent Hill 2 community and just watch it on YouTube, and you'll be caught up to speed. So, here we are, Silent Hill 2 remake. Let's go.
No game, no.
We kick things off with an admirable single trigger warning this time, which is real restraint coming from Konami here after the short message. They also advise you to perform what Jasper Byrne refers to as the ritual, which means turning off the lights and plugging in a decent pair of headphones. I want to compliment the sheer amount of accessibility features Bloober implemented. It's apparent that they've been taking more than a few lessons from Naughty Dog's The Last of Us when it comes to making the game more inviting to all types of players. In particular, they incorporated a variety of atmosphere-enhancing toggles that either fade or remove UI elements completely to keep the players focused on what's in front of them, rather than reminding them that they are indeed playing a modern video game with stuff like bullet counters and QTE prompts. Granted, they have those too if you want them, and they allow you to switch between a classic or modern mode at any time, and you can fine-tune your own experience if you're not satisfied with the presets. I made the mistake of starting my game with no UI elements at all, and while it was a more immersive experience, I often found I was overlooking interactable elements like drawers that I could open to find items. So much of the environment is filled with trash and clutter that I would recommend at least keeping the pickup prompts on, just so you don't miss any important items. The opening cutscene in the bathroom was heavily modified from the teaser trailer to be more in line with the original. James was a much younger looking model,